When you're a pompous ideological director that thinks winding up the fans is the best thing that you can possibly do, putting lines like, Batman's a fascist in your movie, guess what? You better hope that the audience are capitalists, because right now it's tracking that nobody's gonna watch your movie. Oopsie doopsies. When the first trailer dropped for the upcoming DC Blue Beetle movie, to me, it looked like a mitigated trash. To say it looked CW-esque would have actually been a compliment. It looked cheap, it looked nasty, it looked stereotypical, which is rather amusing considering the director is also a South American, and it just looked like trash. But to really upset the apple cart, at the end of it, they decide to put the line in the film, Batman's a fascist, as they're having a little discussion about superheroes. Because the modern audience that doesn't exist, that actually loves superheroes, but the directors think that the modern audience like to shit on the plate that they're eating from. Unfortunately, that's not the case. And when people started to complain about that line, turning a lot of audience off, the director, Angel Manuel Soto, hope I pronounced that correctly, dropped tweets like, wow, my job is done. Because it's not about putting bums on seats. It's about sticking it to the fans. It's about shitting over franchises that are a gazillion times better than the dog shit movie that you're working on. Okay? Okay. And then we have another tweet that's in Spanish that I can't read. All the indicated people are the ones who are today angry about the line, Batman is a fascist. They're happy about that. And again, the director, my job here is done. It is done, sir. Unfortunately, it wasn't done in the way that you hoped. So when the dust settled and the reality of the matter began to hit home, suddenly he started to change his tune. Oh, I was just being fun and playful. Oh, please give our movie a chance, because the chances were that already on the studio side, they were starting to get projections for what the movie might bring in. And those projections weren't looking very good at all, because not only were you dealing with an incompetent director shitting over DC's biggest character right now, not only were you dealing with an adjutant that just wanted to wind up audience and drive them away from the theaters, but you're also dealing with a character that nobody knows who they are. I just did a video about that a few hours ago. So you're already up against it with your Z-list character, and the way you think you're going to bring people into the theaters is by shitting over DC's greatest character?
Not a great plan.
I don't think so, Sunshine. It doesn't work that way. And to make matters worse, The Flash, which is set to lose hundreds of millions of dollars, Blue Beetle has now been placed into the James Gunn cinematic universe. What a way to kick that off with a massive flop. A flop of possibly even more epic proportions than The Flash. Tell us how much Batman's a fascist now, bitch. Fans are sick and tired of bad faith actors, literally and figuratively. They're sick and tired of these wonderful characters that have been decades old in their creations and their developments, been taken over by activist punks whose mouths are way bigger than their reach and their talent. And as ever, it's the silent majority that step away from this, not the vocal minority that they love to bring up and attack at every given opportunity. The silent majority see the way that this person behaves, turn their back, walk away. You'll never hear anything from them, and you'll never get anything from them. And I mean that in the financial term. You might have a big mouth, you might have a smart aleck response, but turning off customers is the very antithesis of what the corporation want you to do. They need bums on seats. You've got a bunch of stupid people in their head offices making decisions that somehow think ideology brings in money, and they're learning after flop, after flop, after flop. That isn't the case. The modern audience is, guess what? The same audience it's always fucking fucking been. It's never changed. Modern audience is a term that they developed in their own heads because they wanted to create a new audience that never existed. And so when all their products are rejected and rejected and rejected, and they scratch their heads and go, why have we lost hundreds of millions of dollars on this movie and that movie? The penny doesn't drop for years later. Oh yeah, it's because they're fucking dog shit. Which leads us here now, just under a month away from its cinematic release, and already mainstream media are trying to run as desperate interference for you as possible. Those projections, oh fucking hell, they're looking so bad, we're gonna go as low as we can go. So if you produce 30 million in a weekend domestically, it's a roaring success. Apart from it's not. It's gonna be an unmitigated disaster. But here we go with discussing film. Blue Beetle is long-range tracking to earn 12 to 17 million in the film's domestic opening weekend. Oopsies! They couldn't softball this enough if they tried, which just shows that this movie is actually set to do an abysmal opening weekend. If The Flash did 55 million in the domestic weekend, what the hell do you think Blue Beetle's gonna do? It looks like it might push 30, or that might be pushing it to get to 30. But anything around 20 to 30... This film's done, dead, over, DOA. Where's your smart mouth now? I'm still listening. I'm still listening for your smart-ass response, Angel. With an estimated budget of around $120 million, this film does have to hit somewhere in the region of 300 million to bring in a profit. I don't even think The Flash has hit 300 million worldwide yet. So what chance do you have? At least with The Flash, they didn't come out and antagonize their potential audience. So right now, it looks like your movie is set to lose a lot of money. A huge amount of money. What a brilliant way to start off James Gunn's DC universe. The reason I'm frothing at the mouth with enjoyment over this is I'm so sick and tired of these pillocks, these absolute pissants that have been given these franchises to try and create something with, and all they want to do is piss off the audience. All they want to do is push their own ideology. My work here is done. I've shat all over the very people that need to sit in those cinema seats to make it a success. These people's hubris are so ridiculous. When they fail miserably, I fucking love it. Every single solitary drop of it. I will drink it all in. All their fucking tears and backtracking and blaming of the fans when all you should do is look in the mirror at yourself. You did it to yourself. Another self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head, courtesy of some big-mouth director that's more interested in their ideology than the actual franchise that they've been entrusted with. Piss off. I hope it does exactly what discussing film are predicting, because you would 100%, and I mean this from the heart, deserve it. I'll see you in the next video. You take care. Bye for now.